Hey guys, welcome back to Not Now podcast number 7. In this video, I'm going to explain and talk about the art of thinking. So, I want to talk about something that almost nobody does anymore, even though they think they do it constantly. See, thinking is not like uh, scrolling or consuming or listening someone else's opinion or nodding along and not reacting emotionally to something you saw, right? Actually, thinking has some deep analysis, the kind where you sit alone with an idea and wrestle with it until something changes or shifts. Most people have never done this, and it shows. Let me tell you what I mean by thinking. Thinking is not the same as having thoughts or, like you have thousands of thoughts every single day. The moment you woke up early in the morning, you will be bombarded with thoughts like, right? Every thoughts are coming the moment you woke up. And they are happening to you like weather, right? So most of them are just echoes of things you have heard or observed or something you are reacted to. But the real thinking is different. It's when you deliberately take an idea and turn it over, and if you examine it from like multiple angles or and challenge it, test it against reality, and just sit with the discomfort of not knowing the answer. That's rare, and it's very actually rare. So what most people do is consume. You read something, you watch a video, or someone tells you an opinion, and you either agree or disagree, right? And you are done thinking, but you never actually thought about it. You just reacted to their sayings or to their behaviors. So there is a difference, right? So deep analysis requires you to stop and actually pause and ask questions instead of accepting answers. So sit with confusion instead of reaching for certainty. So change your mind when evidence demand it, right? So thinking like is think, and thinking thoughts is like thinking thoughts. So that contradict what you want to believe. The last one, that's where most people stop because real thinking is very uncomfortable and very disturbing. So if you think deeply about why you have a job you hate, and you have to face the fact that you choose it, and that's very uncomfortable. And if you think deeply about your relationship, you might realize things need to change, right? Very uncomfortable. Um there is a lot more thing, and if you think deeply about your life, you might see that you've been sleepwalking. So instead, people don't just think; they just try to distract from the thinkings, and they consume. They outsource their thinking to influencers and algorithms and cultural narratives. So they hear something and think that's true without ever actually examining it. And right, they believe something because it feels good to believe it, not because they have tested it. And they live by inherited ideas their parents gave them, and their culture gave them, and their education gave them. So, but they never thought about any of it. So, here's what happens when you actually start thinking. You get uncomfortable because thinking reveals contradictions. You realize you're living against your own values. You realize you believe things that doesn't make sense, and you realize you have been wrong about stuff. That's painful. So people will maximum will avoid it. They stay busy so they don't have time to think, and they stay very distracted so they don't have to sit with their thoughts, and they consume content constantly so their brain never has space to actually process anything. So it's existential avoidance dressed up as a productivity. So but there's the thing, thinking is where freedom lives. You can't be free if you don't think for yourself. You're just a puppet of whatever narrative you have absorbed. So, real thinking is how you bind your own philosophy, your own values, as well as your own understanding of what matters. So, it's how you become a person instead of just a collection of reactions. And famous philosopher Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living. And I think he was very right. Not because you need to figure everything out, but because the act of thinking, the act of examining your own life and your own beliefs, like your own choices as well. So that's what makes you a real human being. That's what makes you free. So here's my challenge: think about something today, not consuming, not reacting, or not scrolling. Just think. Take one idea and one belief, one thing you know it's true, and sit with it, question it, ask yourself, why do I believe this? Is it true? What would change if I wasn't not? So see what happens. You're already inside. Stop knocking. Bye bye.